Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Timmons podcast. I'm your host, Timon. This is my podcast, real conversations with amazing people. And today I have an awesome conversation. I was able to sit down with gxldsoulrebel and yungelder and talk about their new project coming out, Hypnosis. You'll definitely have to check it out. Check out the things that they're doing, the music they're creating. But before we get into our conversation, let's get into some business. First off, shout out to today's sponsor, Quiet River Massage and Revival in Syracuse, Indiana. If you are tense, if you have any tightness in your body, I would definitely say hit up Jasmine and get a massage. You're not going to regret it. It's a wonderful, life-changing experience, and she's definitely a pro. So check her out. For sure, follow her on Instagram, Quiet River Massage and Revival. I'll post a link below in the show notes. Quiet River Massage, quiet_river_massage is her Instagram handle. You can check her out as well, find out all her information, booking times, hours, all the different races that she does. She's got a lot of happy customers, and you should be one of them as well. So big shout out to her. Thank you so much for sponsoring this podcast, and I really appreciate it. So definitely, guys, support our channel and go check out her stuff. This conversation was awesome. I had a blast talking to both gxldsoul and yungelder, and just kind of hearing about the creative process. I've had yungelder on before. This was way back in the day, but this was really sweet to both get them down here, two creative minds, and just start to uncover how they create, what the process is, how they connected, and all that fun stuff. So you guys will definitely not want to miss this episode. For sure, we get into some fun topics, I'll say. We get a little bit away from talking about music and into some you'll have to listen. It's a lot of fun. So I had a blast. So I'm really thankful for both of them. We had such a good conversation. Two amazing men here just talking about their passion and life and all that fun stuff. So check them out. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. Any business inquiries, message me, timmonspodcast@gmail.com, or follow me on Twitter or X, Timmons Podcast. So, all right, until next time, guys, I'll see you later, and enjoy today's conversation with yungelder and gxldsoulrebel. Yo, welcome, guys. Thanks for we're live. Thanks for coming. Thanks for trekking out here. Hey. To Timmons Podcast, down in the basement, deep in the bunker, bro.
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
I'm excited to have you guys both here. We've been trying to link for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yungelder, we've had podcasts before. gxldsoulrebel, this is our first podcast, and I thought this would be a good connection. I've been seeing you guys talk a lot on social media, seen some stuff pop up on social media, so I thought that'd be good. So, guys, welcome.
Yeah, great to be here, man.
Yeah,
agreed.
Good to see you again.
Yeah. So if just speaking to the mic a little bit, but you're fine. Just
my bad.
You got some stuff.
I cut you off there.
I know. It's all good. So first off, introduce yourselves to the audience.
All right, it's gxldsoulrebel. You know what I'm saying, from South Bend, Indiana. Yeah, representing. You know what I'm saying, hip hop. It's just me. It's your boy.
It's a great intro. Great. I'm yungelder, producer from Goshen. I'm out here as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're from South Bend, and you're born and raised South Bend, basically.
Yeah.
Been holding it down.
Yeah, my mom, she went to school in Dayton, so I lived there for like 2 years when I was probably like 4.
No way. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been to Dayton.
Hot second. But yeah, I went to kindergarten and just kindergarten out there. I was about to say first grade, but just kindergarten out there. And then we came back here, and we just been back since. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
From Goshen, whole life. Chandler Elementary, right down the street.
Yeah.
Which is not now.
Yeah, it's like they switched it up or something.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Some Goshen inside knowledge there for you.
Yeah, right.
Change it to like, I don't know, maybe an admin building or something. I don't
Gotcha.
Yeah. Dude, gxldsoul, the first time I became aware of you was when you and Jay did a track together. Is it Gyms. What's the
Unearthed Gems?
Unearthed Gems. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, that song specifically was so fire, dude.
Thank you, bro.
And I bump it. I still bump it. I bumped it and I still bump it.
I've heard that from several people, actually. That's the one.
Yeah, bro.
That's the one.
Coal Miners,
Yeah,
bro.
Coal Miners, man. That was such a cool project. That song specifically, I'll tell you my favorite verse. I mean, you've got bangers. Both you and Jay came up bangers, but quarter on me like I'm at the laundromat. Dude, that every time, man, that gets stuck in my head. I just chuckle. I love that specific line, dude.
That's love, bro. I appreciate it.
It's such a solid. I loved just so solid, dude. So
I definitely appreciate that, man. Yeah, bro. It's been like 2 years since that happened, but I still like, I don't know about him, but I know I've definitely get people like, yo, what y'all still about to do? You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I hope, you know what I'm saying?
Make it happen.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was, either way, like that was definitely a great time. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jay.
Yeah.
Legend, you know what I'm saying? And that was a fun time. We did something like we knew, but we didn't know at the same time. Like we knew it was good, but I didn't know it was gonna do what it did. You know what I'm saying? I'm just grateful. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. I love just even like the whole aesthetics of it, the vibe of it. It just all pulled together so well. I love it.
That's a significant one in the discog.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I think, and is that the first time you and Jay did a song together?
Yeah. That was the first time really meeting them, you know what I'm saying, and all of that. I think, I'm trying to remember exactly where I met him. I want to say it was at a show where we actually talked, you know what I'm saying, because I had been following him online and stuff like that. He claimed he had hit me up prior, and I didn't hit him back. I don't remember. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but you know what I'm saying. But I met him in person. You know what I'm saying. I'm like, oh, dude, is mad cool. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah. So
he started coming through. You know what I'm saying. And then he sent me that. That was like already half done. You know, he already had.
Yeah, his.
I can't remember if he had his verse, but he already had the hook. You know what I'm saying. He was like, yo, just put your stuff on this. I'm like, boom. You know, and that song came out so good. I was like, yo, we might as well just do a whole little. You know what I mean? And yeah, so we just started working on that, and it just came together real nice, man. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I've seen you. I don't know if it was at Rocky Button or I think it might have been. There was one show that, and I saw you too. It was like in a basement, like a real
the well,
right? It was in Mishawaka, I think, maybe South Bend. But you like went in, and then the basement and the ceiling was kind of low.
Yeah,
and it was a real long coffee shop.
That was like the first show I was at of like anything.
Really?
Any of y'all damn near.
Yeah. And so I saw you there and listened to some of the different songs that you performed as well. And I'm like, oh man, this is fantastic. And so, it was kind of cool to see. I love going to live music venue.
Man,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. That was my favorite show, bro. Like, I don't know if I talked to you about this, but I like them small, real small venues. You know what I mean? Like all the big venues, they cool. Like the big venues on that's cool. But I like the ones where you gotta really pay attention.
Oh yeah, I pulled up there like not having heard of the place or anything, and like it being my first show, kind of in like the South Bend scene that I really went to, and it surprised me, bro. But it was awesome. Like it was really intimate, and it's just a close vibe.
Yeah, bro.
Sweating in there.
A lot of sweat.
It was a good time.
Definitely hot in there for sure.
Quentin and Dre were there, which was really cool too. So it was cool to see you.
That was a good time.
There's another guy from like Detroit, I think, or something.
Yeah,
like
I don't want to mess it up.
I don't know. I'm
it's
gonna
like
mess it up.
said 313.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong. But shout out to him.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool to see all those different people on it and doing the thing.
No, that was awesome.
Do you do a lot of? You're primarily performing in South Bend area, right?
Yeah, I performed in New York last year though.
No way.
Yeah, bro. Like, yeah. Shout out to my homeboy. He just it really was on. It was because of him. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, my homeboy Q, I met in college. It was his friend. You know what I'm saying? That I think they might be cousins. I might be wrong, but his name is Ruben. So he introduced me to Ruben. You know what I'm saying? We got cool. And we did, we got a couple songs, but this song in particular, you know what I'm saying, we did this, and then he hit me up like some time later and was like, yo, would you want to come down to New York to? I'm like,
dude,
would
yeah,
I? Yeah,
sure.
like, I would drop everything for this. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, that's really, he just hit me up and asked me would I be down to like go to. It was like some type of summit. Like it was a bunch of artists there, you know.
Yeah.
And so I don't know exactly what they call that, but yeah, man, it was definitely nice, man. We was there for a couple of days, like smoked hella weed, you know what I'm saying? Like
just hung out.
But yeah, being there, it was fire, bro.
It was
nice.
Man. So when all right, I got tons of questions, but let's start with when did you start making music? And like, what was the story that led to where you're at now? I think that might be good to start there.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I really been rapping since forever, bro. Like I've been rapping since probably like 9. You know what I'm saying? At least writing. I won't say like recording, I wasn't doing that. You know what I'm saying? But I was definitely like writing and having songs in my head. You know what I'm saying? I probably didn't really start recording till like sophomore, junior year is when I actually like, okay, I'm in the studio. You know what I'm saying? I kind of know what that is. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like rapping, I've been, forever, bro.
Wow.
But yeah, recording wise, definitely sophomore, junior year. You know what I'm saying? Like I got around some homies that was kind of already in that lane, you know what I'm saying? They was already doing stuff, so I was just, they took me in, you know what I mean? I'm just learning from them and making stuff with them, and, everything I'm learning, because they engineering their own stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I'm learning firsthand, what that looks like.
But nuts and bolts and all the different pieces to it.
Yeah.
Way to start.
Literally.
Like seeing that right off the bat, like engineering, all that.
Yeah, bro.
Advanced stuff.
Definitely helps, man. Because they throwing shows and all that stuff. So I'm just like, eyes wide open, you know what I mean? So
yeah, just soaking it all in.
Definitely.
So kind of early high school, and then when did you put your music out? Like, what's the first year you put your music out?
I think
to the public,
Yeah, I think the first song I put out was I want to say my sophomore or junior year. I can't remember it. It's one of those years for sure, but I can't remember exactly which one. I want to say it's my junior year though. But anyway, it was a song with my homeboy Mike. Shout out to Yungelder, and that man, you know what I'm saying. But it was his song, you know what I'm saying, and I had a feature on it, and I was just like,
sweet.
I was nervous, you know what I'm saying, but it was a good song, you know what I'm saying. I wonder if I could still find it on there. If I do, I'll show it to you like later on.
Yeah.
Send me that.
Yeah, for sure.
Deep in the internet archive.
But yeah, so that was about sophomore, junior year. You know what I'm saying? We was all a group, making music at that point. So yeah, that was just like my first thing. I was nervous, but it came out SoundCloud, you know what I'm saying? But hey, I got some good feedback. Like people was like, yo, that was dope, you know what I'm saying? Whoop-de-whoop. I'm like,
that's cool.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So,
yeah. Kind of give you a little more confidence to keep going. Definitely. Was it primarily all SoundCloud at that point? Because there was that SoundCloud era.
Yeah,
like there was a time where that was just like the scene.
Yeah. Maybe like a little YouTube too, but that was before streaming, as far at least for like our level per se. You know what I'm saying? Like we wasn't really
throwing it on Spotify.
You know what I'm saying? That didn't
Apple.
come till later. But definitely, mad SoundCloud. For sure, all day. Yeah, for sure.
That's so cool. How about Elder? What I mean, we kind of talked about it on our last podcast, but I'd still love to give the audience who haven't heard.
I was just thinking about that. I think last time I was on here, I was like preparing to put out a beat tape. Would have been my first beat tape or first release of any kind musically. That was about 4 years ago. I guess.
I think it was pre-COVID.
Yeah, it might have been. I think it was 2019. Fall maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, first beat tape. I think it was called Trash. And it's deep. It's out there somewhere, I think, still. But
I'm about to search for that, John.
It's fucking trash. It's definitely some.
You were making music in New York. I remember that was kind of the.
Yeah, so I think right before this podcast or the old podcast, I was like getting ready to go back out there. I had gone out there and then come back for a semester and then was heading back out there, and I started like in that semester gap, I kind of started messing with it. So took that into my next semester of school and got pretty distracted with that.
Yeah.
So it kind of just took over at that point, and not too many releases in that time, but just a lot of creating.
Yeah.
Yep.
And since our podcast in 2019, how much have you released since then?
Yeah, let's think about it. There was that first one on SoundCloud, and then I think I went to Bandcamp. Or actually, no, one of them is on streaming. Ain't That Deep. That was like my second beat tape. I might have been like 2021, and then I threw another one up last January, I'm pretty sure, on Bandcamp. I haven't really done much promotion on that, but yeah, that one's called Hostile. It's like a 10-track beat tape.
I remember seeing some stuff on social media.
Yeah, I posted a couple times probably, and then just kind of let it sit there.
I think I saw slowly retweeting some stuff, and a lot of people, a lot of love in there.
Oh yeah, a lot of support. Man, always
need to. Man,
hey, we know.
Up, man. You can do it, man.
Hey, and I'm learning that now thanks to this man. So
yeah,
he's teaching me about the marketing side a little bit when it comes to music and how that's kind of, some strategies for that. But yeah, hey, this is the promo right here. Go check it out on Bandcamp.
Yeah. I'll put the links below. If I can find them, I'll post them.
Hell yeah.
In the show notes. How did you guys connect?
Man, I saw him in the street and I was like, yo, make me some beats. No, I'm just playing.
I had one on.
No, I'm just playing. Really, I'll say probably like Jay, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mutual friend. But I'll say like my first memory of our like just personal friendship, you know what I'm saying, is it was like, I want to say this was like if this wasn't last year, it was 2022, but maybe it's last year.
2 summers ago.
Okay, yeah, you see, you know what I'm talking about.
I think so.
That time where everybody was over and all of that, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, yeah, me, Dre, Jay, like all the homies is over, but most of the homies is over, you know what I'm saying? And we kicking it, listening to beats and, just chopping it, whatever. And he came through, you know what I'm saying? He came through with some food. I'm pretty sure he came through with like some Chick-fil-A or something like that.
Well, pulled up in the morning. I think that was like the second time we had gotten together.
Okay.
I think.
Was that the second time?
Yeah, because I think the first time I pulled up on you at your place, and that's when I just like...
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Right. Yeah.
I'm tweaking. You're right.
No, that was a good time, too.
No, yeah, that was like, oh, yeah, that was the time. I was like, I'll fuck with you.
Yeah. That's the one you remember.
Put up with the food.
Yeah.
That's when I got hungry.
Yeah, bro, like, yeah. I feel like, yeah, that was our first impressions, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's my homie, man. It's my guy. Our friendship has, I would like to say, evolved, as time has passed, especially now that we working on this, you know what I'm saying, and kicking it a little more and shit like that, so it's been a pleasure, man. Like, this is a real cool guy, you know what I'm saying? So,
likewise.
you know what I'm saying? He quiet, but hey, I already know, you know what I'm saying? I know what it is, you know what I'm saying?
You're a little less quiet. I feel like you're like...
Yeah, getting there a little bit.
That's okay.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah.
It's a good sign, though. You know what I mean? You don't want someone who's, like, showing everything. Because then...
Yeah.
No, I was just about to say, I'm like that, too, bro. There's nothing wrong with that, you know what I'm saying? I don't even like people who talk a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I tried to... I've always kind of been like that, and, there was times where I was like, damn, it makes it tougher a little bit, but, it's kind of with the slow and steady thing. It just comes out.
There's something to that grind, that build.
Yeah.
So have you guys? I mean, you guys are working on a project now, but have you guys done any releases together before this project? Mm-hmm. So I feel like I've seen that.
Yeah. Like a while back, Portal.
Okay.
That was like the first collab me and him did. Very proud of that song, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was one of them beats and one of them times. That was a part of the pack that he played me when he first met. When we first met, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is this, bro?
I came in with like my best shit.
You got to though.
I was well prepared for that moment.
You got to show the best things.
Yeah,
bro. I was definitely like,
get them hooked. You know.
Yeah.
And he definitely worked because I was like, yeah.
This is it. Oh, you're good.
I was like, yo, I need that. You need that. Yeah, but yeah, hearing that, you know what I'm saying? We did that, and then we also have Known Stranger. That's another favorite of mine. That's more recent. That came out in like October last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of, but both of them songs, I mean, I'm going to just let y'all know now.
Nice.
Like, they going to both be on there, you know what I'm saying? Portal and Known Stranger, and the last song that we just dropped, Baby Steps, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but, yeah, man, but yeah, Portal was our first collab, and then Known Stranger and Baby Steps were our second and third, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, and then now... Have you guys been working? You guys work on some other stuff.
Oh man.
Are we working on some stuff?
So let's talk about that if that's cool.
Yeah. Sure.
Let's. So what do you guys have in the works right now?
So we got a project coming. It's called Hypnosis. You know what I'm saying? It's a full length project. This is personally my first official full length project. You know what I'm saying? That's something I'm very excited about. You know what I'm saying? It's a very, very much rapidy rap type joint, you know what I'm saying? But it's dope, you know what I'm saying? The production is A1, you know what I'm saying? I like to think the rapping is gonna be A1, you know what I'm saying?
Well. Yes.
So yeah, and it has a message, you know what I'm saying? I like to think all my stuff has a underlying message, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, and I've been growing in that space, you know what I'm saying, as a person, and that has correlated to me as an artist. So I'm putting all of that into this, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like
that's part of the creative process, right? Whatever you're learning right now, you want to kind of bundle it up and focus it into the thing you're creating, so that other people can taste and see, oh yeah, he's going through this and he's learning this, and it helps you jump those shortcuts too sometimes.
Absolutely, bro. Yeah, definitely, bro. Exactly what you said, man. I'm really, you know, I don't want people to follow or do what I do per se. I'm not expecting none of that, but this is like something I'm like, yo, I want to express exactly what I'm on, and then whoever resonates with that, you know, they'll get the benefits, you know, in that way, you know what I'm saying? That way it's like I'm not pressuring, it's not anything that you need to do. It's just, okay, your own experience, and that's, you know, that's valid, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever you get.
So how many songs total are you guys doing?
Right now, I would say like 13, you know what I'm saying?
And then there's like 15 extra beats waiting.
I'm about to say, but yeah, we got some bonus joints too, though, that we gonna put on there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I ain't. That's all I'm gonna say about that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got it's 13 officially. You know what I'm saying? But then, I want to say like at least 2 or 3 bonus ones, if not a couple more. You know what I'm saying? So.
Cool. Yeah, it's not probably completely fleshed out yet. It takes time to create something beautiful too.
Oh yeah.
You know, you want to make sure it's all in style and in line and connected and put together how you want.
Oh yeah.
But also, you don't want to sit on that for years either, right? Right. It's got to be.
Oh yeah, no, like it's getting done. Trust me, like it's at good pace. You know what I'm saying? Like we both is like we don't want to rush it. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to. I don't want to feel like it has to be. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I am aware that I don't, like you said, I don't want to sit on it forever, and then I know how that is, and other stuff starts coming up, and
then
you know,
later you don't feel it.
Yeah,
you know, in a different
you're in a different season.
Yeah, so I'm like, I've been keeping that in mind. So I just been chugging away at it, but you know what I'm saying. So it's definitely coming. You know what I'm saying.
He just played me like kind of a draft version the other day, and there's some it's great.
It's only a few songs left that really need to be done, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Most of it is close to being done, you know what I'm saying? So
that's awesome.
We just still getting our last little couple songs done, and yeah, man, it's gonna be go time soon after that, man. I'm excited, bro. Like
me too.
What's the creative process look like? Like how does this work with both of you guys? I mean, now you're in South Bend area, you're in Goshen. Like, what's the collaboration looking like? How are you creating the music? Like, what's that all look like?
Yeah, so it was kind of weird because Portal was like a year ago now that it came out, so it's like it's been a drawn out process, but it's not like it's steady. It is at a good pace, right? But there was like in that year, like I hadn't really sent him anything new, and I was like definitely in a new place as a producer, and so there was like a lot of new stuff that I thought was way better, and I just started sending more over, and that's, I feel like, kind of when it started really getting into that mode, like locking in on this.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah, I would say for sure. Like, I think after we did, cause I don't know, after we did Portal, I was already like that was already gonna stay in the back of my mind, just how that whole thing went, and that how much I love that beat and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that we, you know, our relationship developed, and then we eventually came to doing this, because this is what I was kind of like, you know, hoping for, you know.
Yeah.
Honestly. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, this man he's an amazing producer. Like, I mean that shit. I'm not even just, you know what I'm saying, like, for real. So, but yeah, man, like you said, though, like, yeah, just sending stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then when he would come through, you know, he'd be playing a lot of beats, which was hearing it, you know, on the speakers, it's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know which one. It's like, yeah, I need this. Absolutely need this. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of that, you know. And then right now it's a lot of just, you know, sending it back to him, and, like, you know, seeing if he fuck with it and shit like that, you know.
If you can kind of build on it or edit or...
Yeah. And he has, too. He's added to, like for example, like Baby Steps, if I can, you know. That he added the little... what would you call that? Like a sound, yeah. It's a sound bite where it's saying baby steps, if you notice in the song, you know what I'm saying, which that wasn't there before, you know what I'm saying? And to me, that's like that's an improvement on it, you know what I'm saying?
Kind of pulls it, gives it more depth, maybe. Yeah.
That's really part of, like, that's a critical part of my process, is like getting stuff back from him to then, like, I don't know, I feel like I don't always really finish, and I don't always want to finish what I send him just to get, like, the raw idea.
Here's the framework. Let me see where your framework's at, and then let's
not
polish it.
Not try to like guide too much or determine what kind of,
you know, that makes sense.
And then, you know, feed off of his energy and kind of like see what I can do to bring out the best of the track, you know.
Yeah, and just what is he saying? Right. How can I actually make this
give some life sonically to those words, you know?
Yeah. I feel like we feed off each other pretty well, if I do say so.
I agree, man.
Real.
Amazing.
I'm feeling the love over here.
Amazing writer right here, definitely.
So, how many? Elder sends you 3 or 4 songs or tracks, right? Are you rapping to every single one of those? Or are you saying, okay, maybe 2 out of the 4? Or what's like that looking like?
That's a good question. I'll probably say I'm listening to all of them, and then I'm trying to decide, like, I'm going off how they make me feel, like, right then and there. Like, it's certain ones which, and you know, because he done been in the room where I'm listening to certain beats, and it's just like, because none of them be bad, you know what I'm saying? None of them are ever bad, but you know, you got certain ones that you just drawn to, and then, so you hear, I'm looking for that, like, which ones am I really drawn to the most, you know what I'm saying? And I know when I play them, it's going to be like, oh, man, boom, 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 you know, I'm feeling this, or I'm thinking this, you know what I'm saying?
Creativity starts rolling.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just kind of looking for that, you know, and then, so whichever ones make me feel like that the most, I kind of prioritize them more, and then I like just, okay, I'm like, I still want these, but I'm going to get to these, you know, later, because these are the ones that's making me feel the most, and I know these is going to be the easiest for me to hit right now, because I'm feeling them the most, you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, it's good for me to be in the same room playing stuff, because, like, I can see him, like, a reaction, you know, and that can kind of give away or give hint to, like, you know, help me find out what really, you know, clicks for him. And
it probably helps you to understand kind of the vibe he's coming at it from.
Yep.
And then you're like, okay, then I'm just going to build it this way.
Right.
So when we'll build together this way, because I know the vibe you're giving, and it's the vibe I put into the song.
Definitely.
Now, I'm sure if you guys are not in the same spot, you can still hear it, but it's not the same as, like, in person. Right. There's something to that.
It helps narrow it down, too, because, like, honestly, there's, like, thousands of beats in there, and, like, I can get an idea of what really, you know.
gets the move going.
Yeah. What I'm really going for.
What do you guys like? Will you start writing in a session where you guys are both like, if he plays you beats, do you start writing and recording there, or what does that look like?
Most of the time when he there, we just kind of going through stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I'm usually just kind of choosing, you know what I'm saying? At least that's how it was at first, you know what I'm saying? A lot of just, okay, I want these, you know what I'm saying? Like, and especially like with this project, it's like, okay, I know these is what we want for, or this is what I want for this project, you know what I'm saying, for this specific thing. So I'm like, boom, 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 you know what I'm saying? And now a lot of it is just like how, like I said, just sending stuff back, you know what I'm saying, getting stuff like sequence, you know what I mean? And
yeah, what's the order, how they flow, how does it all tie together?
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you like, what's your writing process look like? Are you listening to the song and just kind of flowing off the top of your head, or are you like listening to the song with like intention on how you want to focus it? Or I mean, it could be, I don't know, I'm just wondering, how are you creating to the music?
That's a good question. I feel like I hear the beat and I kind of let it, I feel like it kind of speak to me in a way, not to sound corny or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Oh, the beat speaks to me, you know what I'm saying? But
there's something to that, especially if you're listening to a bunch of different music and you're like, this one resonates.
Right.
Then that one has spoken to you.
Yeah.
Right? You've just listened to 12 different tracks and that specific one did. So it's not corny.
Exactly. No, it's yeah. So you know exactly what I'm talking about then. Yeah. So I kind of I listen to it and then like, all right, like, you know, I just let my mind do what it do, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, depending on what the beat is easier or it take a longer time, you know what I'm saying? But usually for me, I start off like with a verse. I don't know, it's just like I ain't gonna lie, lately I've been having to like work on focusing on the hooks and making better hooks and, you know, doing stuff like that, because I'm just so, this verse about to be crazy, you know.
As long as I've known you, bro, every hook has been.
That's crazy.
His hook game has been there.
That's crazy you say that, bro, because I be so critical of my hooks. Like I be like, nah, this is like you really made this too long.
One thing I think I told you is like the Portal hook. Like okay, I'll go back. The first time we linked, I think I was like getting ready to leave, and we were talking about we'd like work something out, you know, take these, and I was like, at the time I was just not liking hooks in music, and I was like, yo, just one. I don't think these should have hooks on them. And then he sent Portal over, and I like listened to that hook, like I listened to that song like just 100 times, like fucking with it, whatever. And I was like, oh, I understand like what a hook is supposed to do, you know. That one really fucked me up in a good way.
That's fire, bro.
Great song.
That's awesome.
Fire. Yeah, I'm proud of that song, man. That beat is crazy, bro.
That was a crazy time. Yeah.
How do you create your beats? Like, where's the inspiration come from that stuff? Is it like you're just going along grocery shopping and you just start getting a melody in your head or an idea in your head?
That has happened. It's mostly like, for most of the time I've been doing this, I've been like sampling records and just listening to old records, like old soul and jazz and R&B and prog rock and just like whatever weird stuff I can find. And so like the process is literally just like taking little pieces of those songs that I'm recording and rearranging them pretty much, adding other elements. So like that's where a lot of my inspiration comes from, is like listening to records, just listening to music.
That's how a lot of music's made, is from the base of another.
Yeah.
The first, they created and then you take and you recreate.
That's what really got me into it, was like realizing how sampling worked and like realizing that every song on the radio is like an old song.
Yeah.
Every damn one of them, bro. And it's like, that was crazy to me to find out. And then like, just messing around on piano, messing around with sounds and just sitting back, smoking weed, pretty much. I'm a hermit, so like it's get a long session in, and I'm able to really like sit and like marinate in whatever music I'm messing with. And so it's like a long process. It's like I sit down and make a beat. It's like playing all day pretty much. So like it kind of speaks to me too. Like I'll be just, cooking, doing whatever, hanging out at the house, cleaning up, whatever, and just like have a beat playing. And it'll just kind of like build itself out over time. Like
let's throw this in.
Like eventually after like, I'll just like, let me try that, But like, I'm inspired by a lot of different things aside from music. We were talking about this the other day, my bad.
It's that Kroger wine.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
No, I was more into design before I found music as a hobby, and I still have that eye for, like an eye, for
what goes together? What's the
the drip.
Yeah, hey, that's the main priority is but no, just like be inspired by everything. I'm very visual with how I like create things, so like choosing records, I'll see something that'll catch my eye, and then like see kind of a connection with the eye and the music, and I don't know, just try to be inspired by like daily things, everyday things, and just try to look everywhere.
Yeah. You get inspiration from a lot of different things.
Everywhere.
Yeah, it's just interesting. I wondered how, I talked to a lot of artists who are on the writing side. And I always wondered kind of on the producing side what that looks like. And
I kind of wonder how it is. I haven't worked with too many other producers. Actually, in the last year, shout out Louis. He's really like influenced how I work. I don't know if you know Louis. He's got a page called Inner Space.
Okay.
Shout out Louis.
He's a great musician. We've been getting together the past couple years and just listening to music, and it is cool to see like different, because it's not like at all one way to do it, making beats at least, but
it's definitely not like a blueprint. Like, this is the formula. Go and do it. It's very creative.
Yeah, you can get crazy with it.
Well, I mean, they try to do formula, but then you're like, that's an industry plan.
There is
right?
kind of a formula.
It's like,
there's a certain formula, bro. I made my like first real, what do you call that? A trap beat the other day.
Really?
You say what you call it.
I don't know if you call that a trap beat, but y'all get the idea.
Yeah, it's like these are the way it hits.
Right.
Let's just put it in. Yeah.
Certain things that work, and
Yeah.
You can't really go wrong.
That's cool. Yeah, I wondered. And so it's interesting just to hear how the creative process happens.
Sure.
Pulls it all together. Yeah, well, I'm excited for this project to come together. Excited to see kind of how you guys have pulled it. Do you guys know when it's going to release, or is it still just in the ether?
Yeah, so my goal is to have everything recorded, done this month, you know what I'm saying? Which that's shaping up to happen pretty pretty fast. Like I said, it's only a few more tracks to really record, and then that's it. So I don't really have an actual day, but I can tell you like a time frame.
Yeah.
So the goal is no later than March. So meaning it could come out this month, possibly, but no later than like early March for sure. Like no later, you know what I'm saying? So that's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
At
perfect.
that point, we're wrapping it up. It's getting really close.
That's awesome. Well, I saw that Instagram conversation you guys had, I think, at your place. We were talking a little bit about it. And you were talking a little bit about inspiration and thoughts through a lot of that stuff. What is kind of the direction of this project that you're seeing?
To me, you know what I'm saying, I'm doing it with the intention of expressing the message, you know what I'm saying, but making it, still entertaining, obviously, through, good beats and lyrics and blah, 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 but it is a message, you know what I'm saying, and that's what the title kind of is like signifying like, even this title is like meaningful, you know what I'm saying? So that's gonna give you an idea like, okay, if I thought about so much with this title, then of course I thought about all of that with this music, you know what I'm saying? So
the title is loaded.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You want to release it, or you want to wait on the title?
Oh no, yeah, it's already people who've been following, they already know what it is. It's Hypnosis. It's HIPGNOSIS. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm spelling it. But yeah, that's the official name, man.
It's fitting, I think. I think it's really fitting.
And why did you name it Hypnosis?
Oh man, we were just talking about this. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I got the word from obviously the regular word hypnosis. You know what I'm saying? It's a play on that word because regular hypnosis, when you're being hypnotized, you're in a different state. You're not in a conscious state. You're in your subconscious mind. You know what I'm saying? And that is one of the principles, or one of the overall works in spirituality, is accessing your subconscious mind for the purpose of reprogramming it and actually having different thinking patterns and blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of it. You know what I'm saying? And you're hypnotizing yourself by way of knowledge through different information than you're normally used to. You know what I'm saying? That's what's giving you that trance-like state in the theory. In this whole idea. So
the hypnosis piece.
Yeah.
And then
so it's that, and then gnosis itself is a Greek word, if I'm not mistaken. It means to know. It means knowledge. Gnosticism is something I've really been into recently, probably in the last year or so. You know what I'm saying? Just been reading a lot and watching a lot and just taking notes on a lot about that. You know what I'm saying? And it's changed my life a lot. You know what I'm saying? To put it in a nutshell. You know what I'm saying? But so
that's ancient.
Yeah, it's like
Gnostic.
To get into it a little bit. It's like a early Christian type, like pre.
Like Sumerian,
like
Babylonian.
even pre, like Holy Bible. You know what I'm saying? This is like way, like, because
2,000 years.
I don't want to mess nobody up, but it's like missing text from the Bible and all of that type of, you know what I'm saying? And Gnosticism deals with all of these missing. It's a lot, bro. It's a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm into that stuff. So
we have to talk about that. Yeah, but it's a lot, bro.
We will. That's one of the things I do want to talk to you about. But this is great. I love it. I love
bro. So I've been like,
I'm tracking with you.
I've been heavy into that. You know what I'm saying? Just really reading what all of that is about and really trying to get, the best understanding I can of that. And so this is just I guess an expression of my place in that. You know what I'm saying? And that idea, I wanted to highlight the idea because I really love it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's something that all of us can benefit from, and it's not a like okay, you need to do this type of thing, or you need to do this. It's like, okay, you learn this information and then you decide in your own ways what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? What feels right. So yeah, I'm just it's a lot more loaded than that, but just
if you say subconscious knowing of yourself, that's kind of what you're saying that title is in a way, right?
So yeah, just to bring it home, so gnosis itself, knowledge through your own experience, and then hypnosis, you know what I'm saying, you're hypnotizing yourself through the knowledge, you know what I'm saying. Then hip hop itself, you know what I'm saying, that's another play on this whole little thing, because they say hip is for intelligence, hop is for the movement, you know what I'm saying. So just bringing all of them little things together, you know what I'm saying. So if this is like the summarized meaning, I would say, of it is like hypnosis, you hipping yourself to the gnosis, to the self-knowledge, to the knowledge of yourself, you know what I'm saying. So that's what I would say it means, if the quick version, if somebody asks me, you know what I'm saying.
Wow. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that's the project. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, that's deep. When you just say hypnosis, right? And okay, all right.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
Well, all right. Well, let's take a step back then. Why do you call yourself Gold Soul Rebel?
Oh, man.
Sorry.
No, I'm ready.
You can have some.
I'm ready.
Yeah, whatever you want, bro.
Yeah, let me get a little bit.
Let me hit this real quick.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, but just to answer the question, I want to remember what year it was. I want to say maybe like 2017 or 16. But anyway, I was listening to, this is a time when I was heavy into like the Underachievers, Flatbush Zombies, Pro Era, you know what I'm saying?
There's Sprite in that fridge.
I got some of this can.
Okay. Yeah, you're good then.
Yeah,
sorry.
No,
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
So you're listening to Flatbush Zombies, all these.
Yeah. So all of these people, you know, Pro Era, Absol, Flatbush, Underachievers, and I'm just like super influenced by all of this at the time, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm coming from a Christian background and going to church every Sunday, so they talking about stuff completely different from that, you know what I'm saying? They chakras and I, you know, so I was just like, you know, what is all this? And they're rapping amazingly, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, yo, this is crazy, you know? So I heard an Underachiever song called Gold Soul Theory, you know what I'm saying? And it start off, it's like, a rebel, somebody searching for treasures in his soul, bloop, whoop, whoop, you know what I'm saying? And I just heard it and I was like, oh shit. Like something that just hit me. I'm just like, Gold Soul Rebel, you know what I'm saying? That's it, you know what I'm saying? And ever since then, like, that's been it, you know?
It's been the connection. That's crazy. It's interesting to hear your background a little bit too, to know you kind of grew up in the Christian world and then it's been more into the spiritual world, because a lot of times when you go into the church it's very cut off from the spiritual world. Even though they talk about it a lot, it's like, don't even think about it. Talk about it.
Yeah, I had a lot of fear at first. Like when I was first getting into the new information, I was kind of like scared a lot of the time because I still had the Christian programming, you know what I mean? So I'm like, the back of my mind, I'm like, man, like, am I going to hell? You know what I'm saying? Like, eventually, you know, once I got into it more and I actually started understanding more of that fear, like, I don't ever think about that now. I don't care. Like, I could die right now. I don't, like, you know, like, I'm not worried. I'm not thinking about hell. You know what I'm saying? But that was definitely a real fear back then, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, so I feel like that's another thing, though. Like, that's the power of music. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to him about this, like, the other day. I might not even have been introduced to none of that stuff, you know, if I hadn't been listening to them, you know, and I wasn't listening to them for that, you know, I just was listening because they was good at rapping, you know, and that's what I was in love with.
That's what drew you.
It just so happened that they had to start talking about that stuff, and then, you know, things unfolded the way it did. But like I said, yeah, that's just the power of music, the fact that it can even impact you that way. Because when I tell you, bro, I was super Christianed up. Like, my whole family is Christian, you know what I'm saying, for the most part. Like, so that was like, that's the way. It ain't no other way. You know, I don't know what you grew up as, but if you're a Christian, you know, it ain't no other way than Christianity. Church. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it was. But now it gave me firsthand experience, you know what I'm saying, and firsthand just things in my mind, you know what I'm saying, questions that started arising just from listening, you know what I'm saying. So to me, I would say that it damn near started my spiritual journey on some crazy shit, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, we were just talking about this exact thing the other day, and we've had like almost parallel music journeys as like growing up. Like we found out we're into all the same like shit like at the same time. Neo, shout out Neo. That's why I started making music, because of Neo. But I love it. But yeah, Flatbush Zombies then too, and Pro Era, and like Absol and Mac Miller and Earl and all that. That was like a crazy point for me. Like finding all those people and starting to question and starting to like see a different way of life and a way of looking at things, you know.
I mean, I think I wasn't born in Goshen, but I grew up primarily here. And majority of people my age who have lived here have a similar experience, though different. But what would you say your like religious or church or spiritual background would be?
Well, my family has been Mennonite. My mom's, I'm trying to think. Yeah, my mom and dad's, both their parents raised them Mennonite.
What exactly is that?
It's like, man.
It comes from the Amish.
It's
I think it's not Amish, but yeah.
It's like, it kind of stems from Amish. Like, it's like, it's just like.
Anabaptist.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
But they're just like pacifists, pretty much. That's their main thing. Is just like they're against violence and all that.
It's very prevalent in Goshen, because I
Yes,
think Goshen was founded by if you were to say, where is the Mennonite Mecca in the United States? Okay, it would be in Goshen.
Goshen,
And
then Lancaster,
Pennsylvania. Yeah, but Goshen makes decisions for all the Mennonites.
Oh, that's cool.
All of not all, but a lot of
the Mennonite Central.
It's the central piece of it, and they're in other areas. They're Iowa, Oklahoma, Oregon. They're in different locations all over. And if you find Mennonite, you find Amish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there is a connection there, but I'm not perfect. But I'm in the world.
Yeah, I was never too clear on, like, because people would ask me Amish, and I'm like, I mean, no, but there is some kind of so I never know what
there was a connection at some point.
Yeah.
They got persecuted for their faith way back in the day, and I think it was in somewhere in Europe, definitely Germany, Netherlands, somewhere in there. Yeah. And they're like, well, we're going to persecute you, and then they decided no. And eventually, I think at first, I could be wrong, but the Mennonites were like, drew up arms and got into stuff and actually fought, killed a bunch of people. It was this big thing. Oh, wow. And then because of how far they went one way, they pendulumed the other way and said, we're never going to fight ever again.
They were so savage. They said, oh, we got...
Yeah. I don't know exactly. I just have heard different threads of different things. I interviewed a guy who was Amish. And he's ex-Amish, and he's like 20. And so he said, coming out of that world, he started really going on the internet and really researching how this all came about, because the world that he came from was this is how it was. And when you said programming, there's a lot of programming in that spot. And as you start to step back, Mennonites are still connected to that world, but like in different flavors, and it's there's no one size fits all at all. There's a whole spectrum of Mennonites, for sure. But
I mean, today
I'm in that world, so it's very interesting.
Dude, I should be knowing some of this.
Nah, it's okay.
I appreciate you saying that.
I've never been to a Mennonite church, and I've never attended, but I've had friends, and it's been such a fascinating thing, especially living in Goshen, because of the Amish world, that I'm curious to it. So I like to kind of ask people, get on.
Goshen College is it's like a Mennonite college.
Them in Heston.
So
those are
Heston, yeah.
Yes, sir, dude.
So I wouldn't say I've really claimed a religion in my life, honestly. We went to church until I was probably we still went here and there, but at probably 8 or 9, we were just busy with sports and shit, and it wasn't a big part of my life and my household. So
yeah,
but to hear people talking about psychedelics and opening your mind and all that shit, all the phrase I was a young and timid kid, for sure. So to hear some of that and really connect with first the instrumentation. Well, Flatbush Zombies, it's the video shit too, because that's what the fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, really? It's very, very visual.
Facts.
Very visual. It was just the whole psychedelic thing.
Yeah.
So that really got me.
They definitely made me want to be I might try this out.
Yeah.
Drop a tab or something.
See what it is. Yeah, they say. I remember hearing a study about specifically mushrooms, that the brain activity that happens. They did a MRI scan, and the brain activity that happens when you're on psychedelics is the same as 3 other types of activity. The first one is deep meditation. The other one's deep yoga. When you're in deep yoga, and the third is if someone's in deep prayer. So you see those same brain activities when you're on on the mushrooms. You're seeing that same brain activity in those 3 other areas, and I just found that very interesting, because all of those are very spiritual things.
Right. It's
Literally.
Not too educated on the biology of mushrooms and that thing, but just coming straight out of the shit,
Yeah, having the experiences is I can't go into detail about some of the experience I had, But I know, like, I can't say this for sure. Like, they definitely help you change. You know what I'm saying?
My personal opinion is, and I've talked to different people, and even people inside the church who are more open to chatting about this stuff. I believe, like spiritual leaders that are inside the church, I've had conversations. Mm-hmm. I believe you actually, I think the spiritual world is around us at all times. Like it's a tangible, real thing. We're just living in our life, not seeing it. Mm-hmm. But when you take those substances and you kind of, hallucinogenic substance, you actually kind of step in. Mm-hmm. You don't portal in it. You just are now that piece. You're actually seeing what's going on a little bit more. Yeah. So yeah,
I agree. I feel like it like drops off the conscious borders that you would put up, so you don't necessarily experience that.
Yeah. That's a good way.
It just like drops all of that shit off. So it's
the
like,
filter,
it's like
filter
everything is in now. It's like you not filter nothing now. You know what I'm saying? You having it all, and it's real powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if y'all ever had like bad trips or whatever, but I've had certain moments where it's been uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, every time by the end of it, it's like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like
I will say every time it's like wow at the end. But I've definitely had some like negative experiences that like it's like it really facilitates change, you know, like it really like you're gonna have to face what it is you're facing, and you're gonna have to.
Well, I mean that's why they call it a trip, right? You're on it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's you're heading that direction.
Yeah.
Me personally, I like to enter the spiritual world. Where I can walk in and walk out, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like I like to handle that from that direction. Mm-hmm. I don't like to be just like sent in. Right. Not that it sends you in, but like you see everything. And when you look at those brain activities,
that's interesting. I want to look into that.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the pieces that the modern day church is missing is the spirituality. Now, I think some people get way into it and get lost in that as well. But I think there's some level to that. If you look at even the Bible, like there's things that are happening that are just like, you don't understand it. And there's such a higher level of what is going on. And some of the stuff you're talking about, the Gnostics, and I've been really getting into ancient literature and some of the sub books that aren't even in the Bible, and even, I mean, I can get a little into this, but I don't know how deep we will get. But like some of the reasons, like the translation of the modern Bible we're reading now was built 400 years after Jesus came. So that's the book we're reading. And it was translated by a certain set of people who hated Jesus. So now we're reading this literature translated from one way. There's a book that was written 200 years before Jesus. It's called the Septuagint Bible. So the Jews were like, hey, Greek is the normal, this is how everyone's, we'll take the Old Testament and we'll translate it. So they did. And it shows some real spiritual stuff in the Old Testament, like weird things, giants and things that just like most people don't talk about, like high level spiritual stuff, multiple gods, all this stuff talking about it. And that was scrapped 400 years after Jesus. They rewrote it. And that's the majority of the Bible we're reading now is like your NIV, your ESV, all the just normal translations is more watered down because it kept on proving, the old text kept on proving how Jesus was just like the boss, you know, and the people after that are like, yo, I don't like this. I'm not a big fan of this. So let's reset it. So I don't know. It's interesting when you start getting that.
Yeah, it's interesting. It really is. It's like, when you start questioning things, you know what I'm saying, especially like from school and all that, I feel like it's an easy rabbit hole to just start, you know, diving into, because it's like, man, like it's so many things that's unexplained, you know what I mean? I used to get in trouble kind of for that, like in history. I'd be like, yo, like, because you know they'd be like telling all the stuff that happened in like 1792. I'm like, that's cool, but like, how do you know that? You know what I'm saying? Like, but I was like, I wasn't trying to be an ass. I'm like, really wanting to know, like, how do you telling me in such detail, like, how do you know that happened? You know what I'm saying? And they just be like, oh, well, you know,
one guy wrote it down.
Yeah, they had journals, and I was like, bro, you getting all of that detail from a journal? Like, I don't know.
No.
I don't know. But
Well, what do they say? The victor writes history.
Hey, yeah,
right. So there's so much more context. I mean, there's so much more to stuff that you don't realize, and we have so much knowledge, man. There's so much information we can be gathering. Like I get lost in rabbit holes off of the YouTube information. That's
so
out there.
easy.
Or the text information out there. There's podcast. There's so much stuff out there.
Reddit.
But a lot. Yeah, Reddit has deep threads of things. But then most of the time, people just want to stay in their safe little box. They don't think about stuff.
It's easy to do that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's easy. Like it's the norm. You know what I'm saying? It's easy. It's routine. You ain't got to think about it, and you gotta. And honestly, like it sometimes hurts people to, and even me. You know what I'm saying? To think or try to accept something than what they not normally used to, especially when it's something that they've accepted for like a lifetime or so many years. You know what I'm saying? Like to hear something opposite of that and have to actually consider that as reality, that's daunting to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And
Shifts their paradigm.
yeah, it's like, oh no, hell no. You know what I mean? Like I can't.
This is how it is.
Yeah, this is how it has to be. Yeah, like yeah. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. I mean, that's why I say it's an individual thing, man. Because we all interact. We can interact with the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But it's up to the person how deep they gonna take it, you know what I'm saying, or how much they really want to understand or practice, you know, whatever said thing, you know. So
where would you say you're at now after coming from that to where you're at? I'd love to hear kind of what your theory is on
coming from a like
spirituality.
Church.
Yeah, just where you're at now in spirituality.
Oh man,
and I know that shifts. Like, because if you're evolving and growing, you're probably not at a finish point.
No,
but
never.
I'd love to kind of hear where you're at.
Yeah, sure. That's a good question. So I feel like at first, you know, I was like really learning about just chakras and just kind of different stuff and just new concepts in general, because all of that stuff was like completely foreign. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like I'm at a point where. And then I'll say after that, you know, after getting introduced to like this basic new stuff, I was starting to learn about more like history and more like biological, more occult per se, hidden stuff, you know what I'm saying? And now it's like I'm at a point where I'm like really into occult stuff, you know what I'm saying? And my understanding, most importantly though, is like the greatest has been, you know what I'm saying, like of all this stuff. So it was a bunch of like taking in new information, taking in new information. But now it's like, okay, I finally, like all this stuff is in front of me, and now I can understand actually what it means for me, you know what I'm saying? Finally, like instead of just kind of going through that journey and still trying to find certain answers, it's like, okay, now certain answers are becoming more clear, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm able to make
this is so this is so fascinating
to make my own answers. Yeah, bro. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, you know, just and really just trying to apply everything that I've been learning in the past and up to now. Like that's really what it's about, like practice and applying and understanding even while I'm doing any of that, you know.
Do you think there was a lot of knowledge lost at one point? Like we had, because you look at pyramids, you look at some of the civilizations that we had, and we're not sure how they were created or whatnot. And I just feel like there's not knowledge. And now, I mean, we have the internet, we can have a lot of that information. But you look at like, who's the Greek guy? I don't know. There's different people that would go to different areas and just like soak in knowledge and bring it back to their. Then you see their civilization bump up, right?
Yeah, I definitely think it is, bro. It absolutely is, bro. Like, I believe a lot has been lost, you know what I'm saying? And then, especially because of, like, when you think about, like, war and shit like that, bro, like, a lot of times, and at least this is what they say, you know what I'm saying? Like, say like, me and you at war, you know what I'm saying? And you take over my people or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And whatever history and whatever religion and whatever culture we had per se, you burning all that shit up. It's like it never existed, you know what I'm saying?
Library of Alexandria.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just many. That's just one example. And then think about how many times that probably has happened. So it's like, bro, it's tons of stuff that's probably. And then not only that, like we were just talking about, you know, the winner gets the translation of what the other thing was, you know what I'm saying? So to the people who never even heard about it at all, that's the version that they get, and that's what they think is real, even though that's just a version of what you know what I'm saying, it
Right.
was, or that's just the perception of
One reflection of it, but not
Exactly.
the truth.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
So I think it's tons of stuff like that, bro, right now,
I
definitely.
remember reading about the Library of Alexandria, and it got sacked and burned 3 times, but the last time they burned it for 9 months straight. Just they were using the toilet paper. They were using it for toilet paper and to warm the places.
That's
just
crazy.
from the library. Just burn it for
That's
9 months straight. So this is
That's
just
crazy.
fascinating. Yeah, it was burned by Christians, Romans, and Muslims. Like all 3 hit it, and then eventually it was, yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, bro.
I wonder how much of that information. So occult stuff, which that's fascinating to me.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say? Like, what information were you pulling from? We don't have to go super deep.
No,
But I
yeah,
love this stuff.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm down to answer whatever, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, let me see.
We're talking like skull and bones type stuff, or is it more like, I don't know if you know skull and bones?
No, I know what you mean. Like
The Freemasons and the Illuminati.
yeah, type
right?
of
Like
shit. I mean,
the Bilderbergs, like those are like the high level 1% that run everything. Or
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
More like occult stuff, like different, like the Druids from Ireland, or
Yeah.
the what's Alistair.
I was just about to say Aleister Crowley. Yeah, so it's more Aleister Crowley. I don't give a fuck about no Illuminati. Shit. Like, we not. Yeah, I'm not in that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
They're
But yeah,
running things, bro. No.
yeah. No, I mean, like I'm hip to it. You know what I'm saying. Like I want to know the truth, but I'm not like just worried about them. You know what I'm saying. But no, like yeah, Aleister Crowley, and really occult just means hidden. You know what I'm saying. It just means like hidden culture, you know what I'm saying, hidden information, hidden things, you know, so whatever is hidden, you know what I'm saying. Down trying to keep saying that, but yeah, like I kind of am you just plunge yourself into that, and especially when it has to do with yourself, you know what I'm saying. So you using certain things like Baphomet, you know what I'm saying, even though people think that's a evil thing, you know, a cult person in the path that I am on, you know what I'm saying, could, and I don't even necessarily use Baphomet like that, but I could, because it is a symbol, you know what I'm saying, and a cult person has an understanding of what the different things like the breast and the thing and all just the different features of the picture. It's a symbolic thing, you know what I'm saying. So the occult person understands what those symbols are, you know what I'm saying, and that's what's important, you know what I'm saying. It's not about it's the general, people have the general understanding, which is usually the Christian understanding of that shit just being evil, you know what I'm saying. And to maybe some people do use it for evil, I don't know, but that's why we don't speak for everybody. We just speak for your own understanding, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, bro, I mean it's a lot of stuff, like it's hard to say like specifically. You would have to ask me like a more specific, I guess.
No, yeah, that's
question,
it's
you know?
it's fast. Yeah, no, that makes sense, because there's. And feel free to. I don't know if you're just listening.
I'm sorry.
I'm
Y'all
loving
keep
it.
going.
Okay,
I love it too, man.
The it's fascinating because there's a lot of hidden things. Do you feel like Baphomet is powerful? Like there's information there. And let me also say this, because when you say hidden, I think a lot of people aren't aware of things, and they're happening right in front of us all the time. Whether you're seeing it, I think like when we're watching stuff on TV, we're all participating in something together. Majority of us don't know what's going on. But if you're aware of Baphomet, I'm also aware of Baphomet, right? I see those symbols in different things, whether it's a halftime show or whether I see this here, right? I'm actually seeing what they're actually doing. And Aleister Crowley said one thing very interesting. You don't have to do the sacrifice, you just have to mimic it to have the same power, right? So you actually mimic that actual power. You actually do the ritual, but you mimic it. You're not actually killing someone, you're just doing it. You're then seeing that, and if they're doing it on the big screen to everyone, you know,
talk about it.
Everybody
Talk about it.
Yes,
Talk about it.
It's fascinating because most people aren't aware of it all. They're just like, oh yeah, this is just whatever. I'm just vibing with it.
No, yeah.
But it's swaying things, you know. So, but yeah, are you seeing, because you're studying that? Are you seeing a lot of that around at times, or?
I mean, I think Baphomet. I think your mind is powerful. You know what I'm saying? Just to answer your question, I think your mind is that's gonna determine anything more than anything else. You know what I'm saying? Is where your mind is at, what your awareness is, what your understanding is. I feel like celebrities who are doing that type of shit, that's kind of something different, you know. It is something different, not even kind of, you know what I'm saying, because they are in service of something else, you know what I'm saying, which is usually some physical shit, which is some money and some riches and being well off forever or whatever, you know what I'm saying. That's cool. Like, this is, like, at least for me, this is something way past that. Like, you know, I'm thinking about death and shit like that, you know what I'm saying. Like, that's the type of occult shit that people, I guess you would call it cult, because most people don't want to address death as a positive thing or a thing that's not scary, you know what I'm saying? Like, and not that I'm just looking to die or I'm finna go jump off a cliff, but it's one of those things where it's like, this is something that happens to everybody, you know what I'm saying? This is something that we are taught to have so many beliefs about, but if it's inevitable, if everybody has to go through this, you know what I mean, there's something about it that it's something to it, you know what I'm saying? And as an individual, as a person with my own mind, you know what I'm saying, I have questions, and I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna do the necessary
the
things
research,
to
understanding,
Exactly.
Are you learning about other deities as well, or other spiritual creatures? I would say Baphomet is a spiritual creature. That's what I would say.
Man, it's tons of deities and creatures, and especially like, because right now I'm into like mythology and symbology and stuff right now. So Joseph Campbell, he says a lot about this a lot of the time, like different cultures, depending on where you're at, you know what I'm saying, how you have to live, how you have to survive, like if you have to hunt or if you have to grow, you know what I'm saying. All these different details play into the written shit, the culture, you know, the arts and all this shit, you know what I'm saying. I kind of forgot where I was going with that, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm talking about, my original question was spiritual creatures, like, are you...
Oh, okay, yeah. So, yeah. And they make them those deities and those gods and all that from that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So like, for example, like if I'm in an agricultural type of society, you know what I'm saying, I might make a plant god, or you know what I'm saying, or a water god, or you know what I'm saying, something to animate that energy in my mind and in my people's mind to cultivate it more and keep it in our midst more, you know what I'm saying. So I guess, like, to answer your question, those, like, when I think about that, I think of deities in those terms, you know what I'm saying, and I think of them in, like, so I don't like assign one to me or worship anyone or do, like, all deities are in me, or as much as I like make them real, you know what I'm saying. This, like I said, I believe everything starts with my mind first, you know what I'm saying. So none of that shit is outside of my mind, first of all, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, like, I think that, first of all, I think you should make your own, you know what I'm saying, deities, you know what I'm saying. I think you should do that, you know what I'm saying. But also,
you see a lot of cultures do that. Like, if you look at Indian, but Indian culture has a ton, and North, South are different too. And then you look at the Norse, they had different culture. You have Thor and Odin, right? You look at Egyptian, they had Ra, and they had, Kemet, and all these different types of, there's a ton of them. You look at Babylonian and Mesopotamian, they had like, Ishtar and El and all these other different ones. And then you go over to like the Aztecs, and they had different ones. You look at the Native Americans, they had different ones. And even different tribes had different ones. Yeah. So what I've found is very interesting is I've seen similarities. A lot of cultures worshipped the sun. So like the sun was always like a deity in a lot of different cultures. Fertility or reproduction was a god that they would worship in all. They may call it something different. Yeah. Or even like Roman and Greek had different gods, but there were similarities to different things too, which is really interesting. So I know that cultures make my personal philosophy is that there is a set number of gods, and though they show up differently to different cultures, and they worship the same one, like the Greek and Roman and Norse and Indian are all worshiping the sun god. I think that's one deity, but they're all worshiping it at the same time. And I think that is one. I think there's multiple deities. I think there's a whole plethora. I believe that there's a creator. That's my view, is there is a one creator, and I think he created everything. But if I look at our physical world, right, I'm looking through everything. I'm looking at plants and animals and humans. When I look at animals, there's not just like horses. There's a billion different types of animals, from lizards to horses to hippos to monkeys to every type of to bugs to toads to. There's just like a whole. There's so many complex, unique animals out there. Why wouldn't that? If he created all of those like that, why wouldn't there be any amount of unique individual spiritual creatures on the spiritual world as well? Like, why wouldn't there be a sun god or multiple different gods, or like a huge expanse of that stuff? I like that. You know what I mean? If I'm seeing it in the physical, why wouldn't I see it also in the spiritual? Yeah. Or why couldn't my God do it in the spiritual as well as in the physical too? If that makes sense. Yeah, no. I think that, I like that perspective, bro. That's fire. Bro. Majority of Christians are like angels and demons, right? So it's a very binary boom, 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 boom. Like, but I think, I mean, when I read the Bible, they talk about, I can name like 5 different angels, and there's probably 300,000 different angels, right? With uniqueness to it. And the same with demons, but I'm not. We live in this world where it's like good and bad, but there's a complex piece to it. There's all that stuff. But yeah, so I think there is, that's the world that I'm kind of in. No, bro, you spot on, bro. That's why, I just think everything lies on your understanding and your attention with whatever you're interacting with. You know what I'm saying? There's this example from this guy I listen to a lot of the time. You know what I'm saying? His name is Brother Panic. He was like, and he was giving an example of how good and bad is relative. You know what I'm saying? He was like, if I'm a heroin addict, you know what I'm saying, and I walk into a fucking room full of heroin, that's great, you know what I'm saying? But if I'm a fucking regular person, and I walk into a heroin room full of heroin, I'm a fucking panic, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna lose my mind, So was the heroin bad? Or was the perspective, you know what I'm saying? Is it, you know what I mean? The heroin is just heroin. It's just sitting there, you know what I'm saying? But it's your perspective on it that's going to make it good or bad. So that's just one example, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, I definitely believe people are locked into that, it's either this or that type of thing, you know what I'm saying? It makes it easy to live life. You don't have to think.
Pick a side.
Oh, and we put labels on things all the time. All the time. Because then you don't have to actually have a relationship, have a conversation, think through things.
That's a crazy way to put that.
Yeah, bro. It's like, oh, you're in this category, I hate you. Yeah. Or I love you. I'm gonna. And the disservice to that is there are so many complexities. And if this person says, I'm this label, and I see it in the church a lot, like, oh, I'm a Christian, but yeah, you're also a pedophile, right? Then they use that to get in there. Then you're like, oh, I don't have to worry about you because I don't have to think about you. You know what I mean? Or vice versa, right? I'm a feminist, but I'm over here, drugging girls and doing whatever I want to. Like, that happens too, right? That's not a feminist move, but I say that so people put their guard down so I don't have to think about you that way. I'm putting 2 really extreme examples out there. But you know what I mean? People like to run under that cloak of I'm part of your group. You don't have to worry about me. Just keep thinking about, you have to be very discerning no matter what. In any group you're in. That's a great point, bro. Yeah. That's a really great point. That's honestly one of the reasons one of the things that made me kind of start getting away from it is, for one, I felt for myself I wasn't really following it, because I grew up in this ministry youth camp type thing where I was around this dude named Pat Magley, who is probably the best example of what an actual Christian or an actual religious person should or could be, you know what I'm saying? Because he is
the most sincere person I know about that shit. You know what I'm saying? But
truly believe.
Yeah, like you can
100%.
tell, like he is living that shit. Like it's other people they have questions and they still trying to figure. No, not him. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He convinced fully. You know what I'm saying? If you ever meet him, you'll know exactly what I mean. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, bro, like I keep forgetting where I was going and shit. But
yeah, you grew up in. We were talking about. Yeah, need some more.
The ministry camp you were saying.
Oh yeah.
But I was talking prior to that, just so you know, people put that cloak on and they hide themselves inside that different groups and stuff.
Oh yeah. Okay, I remember. So yeah, that's one of the things that made me stop wanting to follow it. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, man, I'm not really doing this. Like I'm doing some of the things, but everything that they saying in here, and like even that the pastor's saying, like I'm not. And then my family, I'm seeing them. I'm like, oh, y'all definitely not. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all go to church every Sunday, but as soon as we out and we in regular life, y'all doing X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is not what
Adding up,
this ain't it. You know, this is not what I want a Christian to be for me. You know what I'm saying? Especially knowing somebody like Pat who really takes that shit absolutely serious. Having that type of example made me look at myself like, nah, bro, you not really doing this. So I was like, it's like, soon as I realized that, I was like, let me not even call myself that no more. You know what I'm saying? So that was a big thing. I'm like, yo, I don't even call myself. That was before I even got on to believing or knowing about anything else. I was just like, yo, I don't feel like I'm really following this shit. I feel like it's unfair to the people that's like my grandma and people like Pat that's really living this shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah. And then eventually I got into new shit and just left that shit altogether. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, that was definitely one of the things that I kind of was like, yo, I'm not following shit. Like
I don't want to be labeled this.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I don't even,
I don't want somebody to see like I don't want them to like have me as the example of this is what a Christian's supposed to be when I know I'm not even part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, going back to the cult stuff, are you starting to see symbology and things like that? Just maybe even a local or even like a higher level of things.
Yeah,
like has that opened your awakening to see different things that are going around us? Or
yeah, I feel like reading them type of books and learning about that type of stuff, it helps you in your own environment interact with things and with that understanding, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So like it would be like, I listen, obviously music is a big thing in my life, you know what I'm saying? So now after reading those type of books or, you know, certain media like social media or certain images and pictures that in movies, especially movies, you know what I'm saying?
Movies are so
heavy.
I was hoping we would get into movies.
Yeah, bro. Heavy on the symbology, heavy on the mythology.
Well, I mean, you look at TV, right? It's vision. They're telling the vision what's happening.
Exactly.
It's
yeah. So just saying, like, you know exactly what you're saying, though, bro. So like after reading that type of stuff, and then you watch TV shows and you watch certain movies and you interacting with stuff just how you would before, but you have this new understanding. So it's like different things are appearing to you, even though, like, for example, I was watching Ratatouille the other day, bro, with my family, and I done seen this movie hella times.
Yeah.
But after I read the book, different things was coming to me after I read, after I watched that movie, like, because my understanding of just things in general was different, you know what I'm saying? So just even certain shit that they saying in the movie and certain images that's popping up, like when Remy is imagining Gusto and shit like that, like that's a spiritual thing. That's a occult thing. That's a symbolic thing, you know what I mean? And I wasn't thinking necessarily in them terms until I, read that book, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that'd be one of the reasons I read and do shit like that, you know what I'm saying?
Hidden.
It helps you.
It was hidden.
To reference, like, everything.
Yeah. It was exactly what you just said. It was hidden, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, in plain sight.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And all I did was, you bring it to light by that new information, you know what I'm saying? That new awareness.
Wow. Yeah. I really am very careful on, we do watch stuff at times, but it's propaganda in a lot of ways. It'll sway you and push you to different things. They want you to go this direction, and I think almost now the stuff that they're pushing out into the atmosphere, like either shows or movies. You know, I just really feel like they're really bending. It's not as hidden anymore. There's like, dude, this is what's coming.
Yeah,
this is how it's gonna be.
Yeah,
that's me. You know, a little bit, but
I agree.
Yeah,
I feel like since like 2019 to 2020, it's just been like that. It's like, yo, especially for people who are paying, like, can see what's going on. You know, like, it's like, yo, and now it's every year, just like it gets more obvious. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, like how more? Really, to me, it's like how much more obvious can they make it besides just like?
Well, even if they came out and said we're doing this,
people would still
like, no way, that's not gonna. No, we're not. No way.
They can't be doing that.
No, possibly not. It's, yeah. I think a lot. I think what's interesting is, all right. So how big are you into like astrology and things like that?
I'm not. Excuse me, my bad. I'm not. I mean, I'm into it. I'm into it for sure. Like, I know my sun and moon and rising and all that shit, like my chart and all that shit. But I'm not like heavy as far as like, oh, the retrograde is coming up and this shit done fucked up my life. You know, like I do believe that it's some truth in astrology though. Just to be clear, like I do believe it's some truth in that shit. But I do believe that since I'm operating from identifying with my consciousness rather than a human body, and so as my higher self or my God self, you know what I'm saying, I don't believe in being affected by, say for example, you are a Gemini, so when you come in the room, and since I'm a Taurus with us that Earth, and Gemini is air, so now we can't, you know, we have a different discrepancy because we different. Like, no, you know what I'm saying. That's
going back. I don't
labels.
Describe this. We're going back to labels at that point. Yeah, we're just gonna not even.
But I do think it's some truth in that thing itself, though.
One time we talked about this, and it was like what really stuck with me about that is because it's like I was kind of reading my chart and shit, and like the, you know, relationship between like the moon and water, and like we are water. So like that like tide coming in, that shit all kind of, you know, and now mentioning the physical body, like that, it, you know, that is, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Bro, no.
You know what I mean?
No. Yeah, well, I mean,
it does affect the physical. Like I could, you know, since thinking about that, it's like I can, like I was at work like a month ago or so, and like someone in there is like really into that shit, and she's like, "Hey, anyone feeling this fucking retrograde?" I'm like,
it's usually a she.
Oh, like,
it's always a she, bro. And I've never been like,
my body kind of, man, I'm kind of sad. But nah, like,
I mean, I think it's something to it, you know what I'm saying? But I think also it's like, you know, it's your understanding of yourself too, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you giving external things the power to affect you? You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you are, then what is your concept of yourself? You know what I mean? Like, if that's the case, you're gonna let everything, like, it ain't gonna matter if it's retrograde or the boss or your family. Like, it's gonna be anything. You know what I mean?
So you'll let that negative totally change.
Yeah.
You think I go to this principle, and this is again from my perspective, but in you know, even in the Bible, they do this, whether it's the, I believe, legit version, not legit version, but God spoke things into existence, created things through his words. And so I feel like words have such power, or even like telling yourself something. Like if you get a negative thought, you're like, man, I suck.
That will determine your life.
It determines it. And it's a lot of people say it's like manifestation. So like if you say one thing a lot, one direction, or if you start thinking but I really try to keep thoughts that are like, yo, you're awful at this, or you're bad at this, or you're not good enough, and flipping it around. There's something to that, because you know, oh yeah, my life sucks. Yeah, it is retrograde, or it is this. You can start to just compile and compound.
You can take control and you can create your reality.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's so.
Mine says it's retrograde, then everything is going. Yeah. Every memory that you have from there is gonna be like, oh yeah, remember this? It's retrograde because of this and because of that and because, you know. What I'm saying? Yeah.
It is very interesting that that how much of that. I'm very, very like, I say it all the time, like, don't speak that into existence. Because I really do believe that we have a lot more power
I agree.
than we would ever expect. And when you talk about the mind, like, we don't understand what pathways we're creating in our brain when we say certain things. And when you say it, you're like carving it into existence and into your brain.
I read this. My bad, not to
No, go for it.
But
I'm done.
I read this. I read this book. I just got done reading it. Actually, it's by this dude named Neville Goddard. I actually recommend y'all to, look into him. But it's a real short ass book. It's called Mental Diets. But he was like, it's a lot of good quotables in that book. But one of them was the inner speech. Your inner thoughts. That's the mouth of God. That's what he says. You know what I'm saying? And he in that whole book, he repeats a lot about how your inner speech is like your outer reality, basically. You know what I'm saying? And how imagination is basically your inner speech, and how all of this stuff, basically, imagination is reality. A lot of people try to paint imagination as like fantasy and even myth as like a fake thing. You know what I'm saying? But it's realer than everything, you know what I'm saying? Because all this shit started in your mind. Like, this house started in somebody's mind. That literally, like, this started, you know what I'm saying? Like, being for real. So
yeah, it was an idea.
It was imagination that
then came to life.
You know what I mean? So that's the root of it all. You know what I mean? So when you think about that, it's like, oh, you know what I mean? Like,
like what's the limit? Why limit?
Yeah, I the church I go to, my pastor, he says the God box, where God's like literally talking to you, is right next to the imagination box. And so sometimes you think it's imagination, but God's like literally just saying things to you, and you're like, oh dang, okay. And I think there's some realness to that, like where there are times where I'm like, this can't be real. I'm like, no, wait a second. And then I follow up on that gut intuition, that thought, that thing, and then it hits on a way that I could have never imagined it hit. It was like, yeah, it's really fascinating.
Yeah, I think something that I've been learning is to not always look at things in a logical sense. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is like if I have a dream, a lot of people do this, you know what I'm saying? They have a dream and some crazy weird shit happens in it, and they like, oh man, I had a dream of a seahorse walking and some Jordans, you know what I mean? And it's like, they just disregard it as, oh, that was some weird shit, because they thinking from a logical sense, oh, seahorses don't walk and they don't wear Jordans. And that's obviously that's true.
Yeah.
But what does that mean for you? You know what I'm saying? All those things, them Jordans, that seahorse, wherever they was walking, all them things is relative to you because they was in your mind. You know what I'm saying? That they
What's
couldn't
the
enter
feeling
your
you
mind.
had when you saw that?
You know
what's
what I'm
all the
saying?
different things?
Yeah, so
I'm big into dreams.
They all symbolic of something else, and that's what you look for. You know what I'm saying? But if you only being logical, you gonna miss that whole train. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, I feel like that's...
Or you like throw it out like, oh, this doesn't mean anything. Well, you remember that dream. How many dreams do you have that you don't remember? I have so many dreams, but if you remembered a dream, there's something to that dream. That means you woke up with it and you're still thinking about it. You should probably figure out why you're thinking about that dream. Like, that's me, at least. That's what I've seen. If someone's like, oh yeah, I had this dream, I'm like, dude, how many times have I dreamed and not remembered it? So many times.
Like thousands of times.
Well, I'm going to bring it back to the Bible, but what's really fascinating, if you look at the Bible, the way that God talks to people, no one ever talks about this, but the way God talks to people in the Bible is through dreams and visions. 1/3 of the time he talks to people is through dreams and visions in the whole Bible. If you took it, all the times God speaks to someone, 1/3 of it is through dreams and visions. If we sleep 8 hours a day, that's 1/3 of our life.
Talk about it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, there's some significance to that. We're getting stuff in dreams. We're connected to the spiritual world. Are you familiar with the silver cord? Like astral projecting, things like that. That happens in the dream. Are you familiar with the witching hour, which is like between 2 and 3 p.m. or a.m.? That's like the planes diminish at that time. There's a spiritual connection happening at that time, and we're usually mostly asleep, right? But that doesn't mean we're not still inputting when we're in the dream world.
What was that? The
witching hour?
Witching hour.
2 a.m. to 3 a.m. typically.
Okay.
There's a significant time of a lot of spiritual activity that happens during that time.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe that all of that shit is like something that at least for me, I'm starting to learn to take it ritualistically. And what I mean by that is like when I go to sleep, I'm going to sleep intentionally. Like, this is what I want to think about. I got certain music playing, and I'm purposely not listening to other certain music because I don't need it in my atmosphere, especially when I'm sleeping. Because when you sleep, you enter in a different state. You know what I'm saying? You being able to be programmed probably a little heavier in this state because you in your subconscious, your deep sleep mode. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that doing things like that, you know what I'm saying, and being aware of shit like that is how you take shit, something like that's so normal like that, but now it has a whole different, more meaning. You know what I'm saying?
It's more important.
Yeah.
When you start thinking, that's just how I sleep. Yeah, I think you can be trained in your sleep for sure. Yeah,
I gotta stop falling asleep to the TV.
Yeah. Dude, for real, you don't know what they're putting out there too, dude. We were just talking about the programming that they put. Programming.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That just even the word programming. Yeah, I'm gonna switch to this program. I'm gonna switch to that program. No, they're programming something. You know, it's fascinating.
Spelling. You know what I'm saying? Spelling.
Yeah.
Spell.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, all these words, they are symbolic of something, you know what I'm saying?
It's,
I ain't trying to get too off, you know what I'm saying? But like that
there is a lot of levels to that
Spelling,
stuff.
I never heard that.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what do witches do? You know, they set spells, you know what I mean? Nice. Spelling bee, like, you know what I mean?
It's fascinating.
Bro.
Yeah.
That shit.
And we went way off your project. Talking about music and stuff. The last half of this podcast is really just about spiritual stuff. But
that's okay.
Every time I talk to someone, they're like, Gold Soul's on some spiritual stuff.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? So the emanates from everyone that I've talked to has said something about that with you.
That's dope. I even.
And so, that is I mean, even if you follow you on Twitter, I follow you on Twitter.
I was going to say, if you follow me on it, you probably know that's really all I talk about.
And so I'm very interested in that because, a lot of people are mostly closed off to that. And I love to learn more about that stuff, or at least hear what people are thinking. Because a lot of people don't even want to talk about that. Yeah. They're just in their day-to-day life. Like, it's fascinating.
Celebrities and... NBA, I don't know whatever people talk about.
Yeah.
Megan Thee Stallion, Sexy Red.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, there's been a lot of talk about Taylor Swift.
Who's trending right now? What's trending?
I like Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift?
Travis Kelce.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm on that shit.
Really? Yeah. Dude, Taylor Swift, you start talking about, once you start seeing stuff, you start looking at that and you're like, there's some stuff there that I'm very interested in.
It's different though. Like, I'm on Reddit and it's like, it's different. I don't know.
There's conspiracies and then there's conspiracies.
I'm not saying I'm on like Taylor Swift Reddit, not that. But like,
you're a Swiftie.
It's reaching me.
Bro, when is your next track? When's your Taylor Swift track, bro? When are you gonna sample a couple of her songs?
Hopefully right after this.
Sample a couple of her songs and just build something beautiful.
Should we do it? Should we do it?
I think we should
do Bad Blood and just like throw it into that.
I know there's got to be something in her discography though that is sampleable.
No, I believe it, bro.
Nah, everyone.
That would be tough if you actually like made that. You could do that. Like, I bet it's something.
Oh yeah,
it's
you can remix it for sure.
I ain't gonna lie. If a Taylor Swift song came on right now, I would not recognize that shit.
Nah, me neither.
But I bet it's something in there that you could.
There's got to be like one chord.
It got to be something. Some way, some note that she hit or something. You know what I'm saying?
You remix it. It's interesting when you're talking a little bit about producing and pulling off of other old records. It was somehow I got onto some like YouTube rabbit hole of like some very old music.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I listened to one song, I'm like, that's fascinating. I'm going to listen to some other stuff of theirs. And I started listening, I'm like, oh, that's a famous song of 2000s. That's a famous song of the 50s. That's I'm like, I know these. Oh.
Are you saying you see an artist like on YouTube, you run into something and then you go to that same artist? Or
I saw a clip, it was a meme of, they're like, this is the first rap song ever, is these guys and they're singing about Noah's Ark. Have you seen that? They're like, in Noah's Ark, and this is a guy, they're just kind of like rapping about and 2x2, and he's just like, they're going off of it, and it's like the 30s. I think maybe even earlier. So then I go and listen to. I'm like, oh, that's fascinating. I'm gonna listen to all their songs. I started listening to all their songs, and there's like famous songs now that I thought were unique and new, and to a word was these guys in the 30s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like to a word, like
Nothing
they may
new
have
under the
like
sun.
kind of refreshed it a little bit, but this is exactly the same
It's
thing.
not what you do, it's how it's done.
Mm-hmm. It blew my mind. I'm like, this
It's
is crazy.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like YouTube music rabbit holes can be. I feel like it's kind of weird. Like I feel like people. I was thinking something different initially when you were saying that, but like there's a lot of channels and shit of just like people go find like crazy records that aren't on the internet anywhere on streaming, and then just like put it on YouTube. I don't know. They like make playlists. It seems like specific for sampling, and I feel like I personally don't really do that because like I don't know. I'm not trying to. There's no one way to do it. I just like I feel like I have to listen to the whole album, and then I feel like also like once I get onto YouTube or like a digital platform, I feel like it's just too predetermined, and like I might hear some shit I like, but like I feel like I don't know with the like I don't know whatever it is, like I feel like it's not like it's not genuine to me.
Yeah,
to have
you're just like
really picked
dissecting
it's just coming to me.
And they're like, no, here you go. This is what you
I'm
want.
being fed what I want.
Yeah,
It's
like no,
that's
let me eat the
not
whole
what I
meal
want.
and say, yeah, this was my favorite piece of the meal. Not here's the best part. You're like, yeah,
Right.
I don't know. I think I want these other things too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like,
But that's not cultural. Right now, it's listen to this song and then listen to this one and then listen to this one. Not listen to this whole piece of work.
And it
yet you guys as
wasn't-
artists are creating this whole piece of work.
Exactly, man. And
But-
it wasn't like this until like 2010s. Like people been doing it, similar ways for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect. You gotta adapt. The other thing that fucked with me is like Fruity Loops or some shit has like you can like separate all the stems of a sample in one like in the program and just like fuck with individual like
that's tough.
like before like the way I don't know the way I figured out how to do it like I don't know, man, like it's hard because I'm trying to adapt too. This just seems like at this point right now like crazy shit is happening that will like literally change the whole landscape of this shit, and it's like
do you think
you
it's
gotta adapt.
All right, so I mean, you got the AI stuff, you got the technology pieces, all that stuff. You got TikTok, okay? So you've got all these different pieces happening, and I was hearing something about TikTok rappers, right? There's people who have blown up from TikTok, and they do it all the time. It's happening right now, and a lot more artists are trying to curate their content specifically for TikTok, which is 1 minute. Let's have a quick song. This is going to be the best song of my life. It's going to be so condensed that someone just does something to it, and it's not depth, it's fluff. Like pop it right in and pop it right out. And so, and people are really trying, but what's happened is we had all these massive, amazing, like deep artists for a long time. And now we're in a period for the past 5 years where those artists are gone, and it's now these like very fluffy things, so there's no depth.
And it's also like you used to have to be like really nice to get in the fucking studio. Now everyone can get a studio, which is great. We're gonna get more good stuff, but we're gonna get more bad stuff.
Yeah.
A lot more content being created.
Yeah, the mainstream is in a whole another direction. You know what I mean? Like they obviously is like not trying to take hip hop nowhere.
It's a business.
Like
It's a business,
further. You know what I mean? Like they just show them obviously like, yo, this is like Sexy Red is a new artist. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is she doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
It's
like,
not music. I mean, she has some good music, maybe, right? I don't know.
You just burned the bridge.
There is no.
She should not exist in hip hop, bro. I'm just being dead.
But
it's not just her. It's
image.
a lot of people.
It's
bro.
image. That's what is pushing her, probably. In my opinion, is image.
People eating that shit up.
Exactly, all of that though. Like you said, image, and then people accepting that shit, and that's if people accept it, then that's how you know it's about to be the new thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then if if you just willing to accept whatever though, which to me, Sexy Red is accepting whatever, because what did she bring? She can't rap. Mm-hmm. She does not make good music. I mean, it's catchy, I guess. You know what I mean? But
it's that fluff.
Like, what is she doing that any like 1,000 other artists ain't doing or can't do? Like, what is she bringing?
A label money.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
someone money.
And we just allowing that shit, and then like you see the effects. You know what I'm saying? Because it's shorties out here. You know what I'm saying? And men too. Unfortunately, that's really following this type of mind. You know, this type of things. They like the entertain. It's one thing to be entertained, bro, but it's another. Like, people don't know the difference sometimes. You know what I mean? Like,
so it's interesting because I feel like, you know, she has a lot of reach, right? But it's in one aspect, it's hitting a lot more people, but the depth's not there. But then we have so much more people creating content where there's so many more musicians that are posting things that have ever been posted before that eventually Sexy Red is going to be out of our world. It's not going to be like Michael Jackson, who everyone knew so deeply for so long. Sexy Red's going to be here and then gone tomorrow. And also what I love is I can even choose not to buy into that, right? Prior to the internet and streaming, I had to buy into the radio, or I had to go find someone in a location, buy their CD, and just listen to that. Now I can, like, my playlist is not exclusively, right, but predominantly local artists. The people I listen to the most, I can be like, oh, dude, that's the dude down the block that I love. That's the guy in South Bend that I'm with. That's the fellow in Elkhart, right? And that's what I'm listening to. And their messages is what I'm listening to.
Wow.
We have so much more access to that. So I think in one aspect, we're going off the rails. But in another, we have something that we've never had before. That is like, dude, this is cool, and it's way different than our forefathers.
Those things can be true at once too. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you brought that up, because it's like, on one end it's shit. It's a lot of shit balls right here, but on this other back end right here, it's some shit that's amazing. You know what I mean? And I know, like, for me, like, a lot of the mainstream shit is terrible. You know what I'm saying? Of course, but there's a lot of underground artists per se, or just indie artists that are new, you know what I'm saying, and bringing shit to the game that in a way that I have never really heard it, you know what I'm saying, in a way that I needed to hear it, you know, and I couldn't be more grateful, and it's come in this era, you know what I'm saying, so it's like,
it's cool.
Go
ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, when people say like hip hop is trash, like, bro, this is the best time. This is the best time ever, I think.
I agree.
You can hear the message.
You're hearing some of the craziest music ever. Like, everything just keeps getting better. You have
Alchemist is rapping right now.
Alchemist is rapping full-fledged.
Like, come on, bro. Like, that's
I love the fact that I can go. The live experience is what adds levels to things too.
Dude, sorry.
Go.
I wanted to say, like, that was really crazy to me to hear you say, like, your playlist is like pretty much exclusively local. Like, to think how, like, tapped into to your environment you really are, how much that probably just amplifies, like, your daily experience in this town even more.
Because the people that are around me are having similar experiences.
Right, exactly.
Right, I can't connect with Drake.
Right.
Like, Drake doesn't speak to me. His stuff bops, but it bopped when I was 21. Right. I'm past 21 now. I'm living in Goshen. I'm living in northern Indiana. We're dealing with stuff that Drake never had to deal with. Drake's not even in my world. And so when I'm listening to different people, I've listened to different things, and it's like, you're talking about things that I resonate with.
Right. Like,
I understand it.
It's right.
And it's way more impactful for me. And I'm very, like, pro-local,
right,
on a lot of different things,
just on the
from music to, I was talking about my garden before we started podcasting, to, like, where I source my food is I'm very focused on getting stuff that is closer to me, and a lot of that was from COVID, because we saw that stuff started to disintegrate. Like, okay, well, if I can't walk into the grocery store and buy bacon, right, maybe I need to start thinking outside the grocery store. And so I'm big into that type of thing, and why not be all around. And there's brilliant people doing brilliant stuff all over. I'm not against that. That's why I'm not saying it's 100%. Like when you go back to this is how it has to be. This is my label. I'm only going to listen to local artists. Yeah, I listen to a lot of different stuff, but I love my local artists too. Yeah. So and it's cool because like I can in seconds listen to them.
Yeah,
very easily to a lot of different stuff. And so I'm big into that. I think we're in a really unique spot, man, because it's like never before have we been at this point.
Right. This hasn't been a place like where this has been a prevalent.
All these things existing at once, you know.
Yeah. The fact that we can like blast this out to the world, both music, to podcasts, to beats that you're creating, to like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. Here's a picture or something. Like, no one has had. If you would have asked someone 100 years from now, which 100 years in the grand scheme of time is such a small sliver, they would have been like, "What are you talking about?" And then now this is just so normal to us. I'm worried too. Like you saw my little daughter, what world she's gonna grow into is gonna be totally different than.
Yeah, man. I got the young nephew, and it's like, oh man, I'm seeing.
Yeah,
and it's
bro. Yeah, it's crazy.
We were born in a crazy time, like right immediately before this, and like we got the best.
I was just about to say that, bro. Like I was right. I had the sweet spot where it was internet and all that was just kind of coming out, becoming important.
And like it was like being my bad. It was being used for like like learning and shit.
Yeah.
And it wasn't used for bullshit quite at the. I mean, but
social media didn't come till later.
Right,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was. We were. I call us like cowboys, bro. We're wild westerners because it's like we knew the old world.
Yeah.
But we're in the new world.
We left.
You know what I mean?
Like my mom, I had the game,
like
but after so while, my mom was like, "Take your ass outside."
Yeah.
I'm thankful she did that. You know.
Yeah.
What I mean?
Yeah,
sure.
And I'm thankful for it.
We're the last generation to like be bored. Like boredom is.
That's where that creation happens, that creativity, that imagination. Dude, my imagination ran because I had the ability to be bored.
Dude,
I was able to sit there and just like, dude, I lived in different worlds as a younger person.
Exactly, man.
And I didn't have something that like was always entertaining me.
Yeah.
That's the best thing about kids, though. You know how to entertain yourself. You privy to entertaining yourself. Actually, you know what I'm saying? I seen my brother. This man would have a sock, nothing but a sock, and if you didn't see what he was doing, you would think he had a whole like TV show he was watching. You know what I'm saying? Like he making noises, he around the house with it, like one sock. You know what I'm saying? But in his mind, it's a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, them kids, and really we still got it as we get older. It's just when you kids, you just. You haven't learned.
You've stuffed it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, you ain't as serious yet, so. That shit, all that other shit don't matter. It's just, okay, this is what I'm experiencing. This is what it is, But,
I love that. Dude, we should probably wrap it up. We're at almost 2 hours.
Oh, shit. I didn't even realize that shit.
It's been good. It's been so good. All right, tell me again. Let's go back to the project. What's the project called? When you guys think you're going to drop it?
Yeah, and man, before I go, shout out to my man Elder, man. I feel like I've been talking a lot, but that's my dog.
Bro, you got the.
This is perfect.
You got the words, bro.
But yeah, it's called Hypnosis. About 13 tracks, probably a couple more.
13 plus.
Count bonus. Yeah, 13 plus. I'm gonna say end of March, early February. Expect that thing to be out.
Yes, sir. Hey, I just want to say again, thank you, man. I've really treasured this experience and this friendship, and it's great. As you see, I'm sitting here listening. I'm learning a lot from this, man. So like it's
man. Well,
yeah.
No, bro, I'm thankful as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm thankful that we both here. You know what I'm saying? I'm thankful to be, doing this. I've been wanting to do it for a while, but this is honestly the perfect time. You know what I mean? So
it worked out.
Yeah, man. I'm happy.
There's something to timing.
Be on this journey with my mans. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy to be doing this. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing. Yes,
and thankful for Timon as well for hosting this beautiful experience. It was
documenting it. We've documented it. It's going to be in the books.
Yes, sir.
Where can people find you? give me your, if they want to find you, where's it at?
I'm on Instagram lately, not Twitter much.
That's fine. Yeah, I tried to. We tried to set this meeting up on Twitter. It did not happen.
Deleted that.
It's okay,
like a few
dude.
weeks
You're
ago,
fine.
It was no response. I'm like, oh, he must not be on it.
Yeah, don't worry.
Shit.
We were on
Like,
it.
yeah, I'm like, I guess it's just me and bro talking shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me start an Instagram chat real quick.
That's so
Good call.
smart.
Good call.
So
Yeah, it's Young Elder YUNGELDER _ on Instagram.
Perfect.
Young legend.
Hey,
Go.
hey, thank you, man. That's a
Oh,
goat, right?
yeah, but me, everything goes so rebel. gxldsoulrebel. So that's everything. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. If you want to get on my actual personal Facebook, for some reason, it's Malik Barnett Ties. I mean, I post music shit on there too, so it's really the same shit. But if you want, that's my name. You know what I'm saying? So you can find me on there. But everything, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, all go so rebel. YouTube, all the same thing, same spelling.
Yeah. That's perfect. Cool. Those links, if you want to go follow these guys, links are in the show notes below. Just go down, click the little arrow, you'll find it. Just link right to it. Go right to them. Follow them. For sure, follow them. Guys, thanks so much for joining us on another Timmons podcast. Guys, thanks so much for being on.
Thank you.
It's been a blast,
Thank
and
you,
we'll
bro.
catch you guys all on the next podcast. Peace.
Peace. That was lit, man.